let's change out the burrs in a Varia VS6 coffee grinder. Now currently there are 9 different burr options available for the VS6. There are 4 that are conical burrs and 5 options that are flat burrs. Today we're going to be changing out the stock flat burrs for another set of upgraded flat burrs. So the first thing you need to do is safety first. The grinder does have a safety switch that disables the motor when the hopper is removed, but when you're working on any sort of appliance, unplug it first. It's not worth the risk to your fingers. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the bellow and the lid that is right here on the top. The next thing you're going to need to do is just go ahead and unscrew the hopper. You don't need to remove the funnel to do this, so just unscrew. And once it has been unscrewed, then you'll see that either right here in the top burr, or perhaps it's still attached to the hopper, is the bearing assembly. It's a sealed bearing assembly. So set that off to the side as well. Now the top burr comes out once you've removed the bearing by just setting the hopper right back on top and lifting it out. There is the stock burr. So we're going to set that off to the side. Now, one point of note, there are a total of 4 springs inside of here. To make this a little bit easier, you can actually remove the indicator indicator ring from the top. So these 4 springs here, just make sure you don't lose those. There are extras included in the accessories bag, but hey, why lose them? Just make sure that they're in there, and perhaps most importantly, make sure that they don't fall down in here once you're reassembling it. So the next step in doing this is to get your accessory bag. In here, there's 2 wrenches, 2 tools that you're going to need for this. There's one that will be used to hold the drive shaft in place. So if you look here, there are flat sides to the burr that go around the drive shaft. You'll use this to lock it into place. And then because the nut is actually reverse threaded to make sure it doesn't back out when the grinder is running, you're going to have to loosen it by turning it clockwise, not counterclockwise. So you'll loosen it by rotating the nut clockwise. You'll remove that, the washer that's with it, and then you'll go ahead and remove the bottom burr. Now we're going to put the new burrs in and basically walk our way back through what we just did to take the old burrs out. So the burrs that we're going to be putting in are the Supernova Gold burrs. This is what those look like. You can tell that the way that they cut is a bit different from the other ones. They're obviously gold, as the name Supernova Gold Titanium indicates. And so this one right here with the little lobes on it is the one that fits on the top. It is fixed, it stays in place. And the bottom burr is the one that actually rotates. And mesh up like that. So the gold color is not an aesthetic choice. This is a coating that gets applied to tools that do cutting. You might remember seeing this perhaps sometime by looking at a drill bit. Many drill bits come with the same titanium nitride coating on it. So you see the similarity there. This coating helps protect the burr itself as it's cutting, basically increases the longevity of it. It also can even help the sharpness of the burr because of how thin this coating is as it coats over the edges of the burr. It also reduces friction, which potentially could reduce the number of fines that are produced via the grinding process. So let's go ahead and install these 2. First, we're going to put in the bottom or rotating burr. As you're putting it in, you can kind of feel as it's sort of settling in to place and it's locked in. Then you're going to take your washer and the nut that you took off earlier and put them in place. Again, because this is reverse threaded, you'll need to put it on in a counterclockwise fashion. One thing I recommend doing, this is just maybe a small thing, but I do like making sure that the washer is centered on the shaft as you're doing this. You'll take your 2 wrenches and tighten it down. Now be careful, don't over tighten it. It doesn't need to be over tightened at all. Before I put the top burr in, I do want to show the safety. So I'm going to do something that you should not do at home. I'm going to plug it up to power. So when I turn it on now, you can see the indicator here on the top showing the RPM. When I turn it on, pressing the power button, nothing's happening. That's because the safety switch is engaged. Now, it does have a switch on the side that you can use to get it to turn on. It's a magnetic switch. So that's used for safety, just for your awareness. Again, don't try this at home. So the next step is to put the top burr on. You'll then put the bearing in place, your indicator ring, find that arrow, set it in place, let the magnets grab. Take your hopper. I do recommend that you find the 0 point and set that at the arrow, and then you'll tighten it. This tightens in a clockwise fashion. So you rotate this down. Until you feel it lock. Basically that means now that the burrs are touching each other. Once you've reached that point, you back it off. You don't want the burrs rubbing, so you back that off a bit. Then you can put your bellows back on top along with the lid, and you're done. New burrs installed, and you can enjoy the new flavor profiles that the new burr set provide for you. Good luck.